Okay, let's continue to learn Attrasoft Image Deep Learner. Let's start the software. And we built the software. We made a preliminary test. So today we're going to evaluate how good the software is. The evaluation is basically you make millions of computations. In the last video we used this folder as the images, which has about 7,300 images. So we will load this image. It's going to take a while, and then we match each image, each one of the 7,000 image against 7,000 image. We wind up with about 53 million matches. So out of these 53 million matches, we are going to use this file. This file says these are our training data. So this 3,644, at least these files should be matches. So to do that, we are going to match the result against the file called match list. The result is put in the B1. I'll show you. So basically we make an end-to-end match right here. We make an end-to-end match right here. Basically we just load a library as A1 and we use A1 file against it. So basically A1 file against the A1 file. 7,300 image against 7,300 image. That will come out 53 million matches, and all the result will be in the file. Now you look at that file, you compare, saying this 3,644 pairs supposed to match. So I'm looking for this and see how many percent of them has been matched. That's one accuracy. Another is out of this millions of matches, out of this 53 million matches, exactly how many percent are retrieved. Okay, so that's another parameters. So we just loaded that, and I'm going to click this end-to-end match, 7,000 against 7,000. It's going to take a while, so let's start. Click. Okay, so it started. Once it's end, a file will pop up. So I'm temporarily halt this video and we'll wait. It's probably going to take 10-15 minutes to run 353 million matches. Okay, the end-to-end match end, and all the result is in a file called b1.txt. And this file in the end tell you the total number of match is 29,000 out of 53 million matches. So that's roughly one match out of 2,000. So it has one match out of 2,000. So now we're going to evaluate the match file we generated earlier. Tell us which matched which. We can use this as an evaluation file, and we need to save it to a particular file called B1 match list. And then out of then these two files will be matched against each other. So the software says we find 29,000 matches. So out of 29,000 matches, how many of the match in this 3,600? So you're supposed to match this, and this is the total match. And this retrieval rate is roughly 0.05% at this point. So we're going to save this file. We open the, let me do it slowly. So we go to home folder, and the first is the data folder. The B1 match list is right there. The reason we call B1 match list is because the B1 is the result file. So B1 match list is this file So we copy this data to here. Now we have this result. We have the result and what the expected result. So we can compare these two files. And to do that, we simply click. It has 7,800 block. That means we have that many images. And then the software will check to see how many actually matches. And it said we found 3,490. So that's roughly 96% of the matches. So on this default setting, we have 96% of the test pairs are matched, and the retrieval rate is 0.05%. 1 out of 2,000 images is retrieved. So on average, remember we have 7,000 against 7,000 images. So roughly out of 7,000 images, on average, you get 3 images back with 96%. The default, there's something called a threshold. All the parameters is right here. So we can increase increase the matching rate by using something called a threshold. So we lower the threshold by the default rate is 70. So I can lower it to roughly half of that, to 40%. And then we do a many end-to-end search again. So these details are in the user's guide. So basically, this is some new parameters. So I clear that. So I lowered the threshold from 70 to 40%. Now we're going to do a many-to-many search again. So we probably will increase the number of matches. Remember, the first match, we get 1 match out of every 2,000 matches. We get 1 match out of 2,000. When you lower to 40, you probably get 1 out of every 500, and then the rate is close to 100. So let's do a match again. So you can get a sense that the higher accuracy is, the higher the retrieval rate is also. So let me do a match again. Now it's going to the match just start. Do it again. Okay, so the match just start, and this is going to run for a while. So let me halt the video again, and we'll come back when the computing is over. Okay, so the computation is end. Now with 40% threshold, we get 100 out of 53 million matches, we get about 100,000 matches. So now we reduce at 70%, we have 1 out of every 200 matches. At 40%, we make 1 retrieval out of every 500 matches. So let's go back and check again. So remember, we have about 3,600 some matches is required, and we get 3,600 out of 3,644. We get 3,649. So this is about 99.7% of matches. So at this setting, we get 99.7% match. So that's pretty good. So this is acceptable, depending on how do you want. If you want retrieval rate 1 every 2,000, you set to 70. If you want a retrieval rate 1 every 500, you set to 40. If you want a 99.7% retrieval rate, you set to 40. If you want a little bit lower, you can add 70. So that's some trade-off, some adjustment you need to make, but somewhere the threshold between 40 and 70. So we pass the evaluation. Then there's one last step, is you create a software And the open software, that's the redistribution software. So the last step is create redistribution software. All what you have to do is create software. You simply click the button saying, I'm going to create a software. So we're doing now. It's basically copy a bunch of files. It's going to take a while, and then we say we're open software. At that point, we created the software, which is what you are saying in the very first video. We're saying this is the end result. So software created. So the last step is we open software. So this is the software we have opened. And that's a software you have seen earlier. And in our very first video, we show you how to use this software. And that complete so let me close this. And so we have complete option A. We have 3 layers. And this is an off-shelf software. If you're interested, simply go to Attrasoft.com. Go to Attrasoft.com and you can order the softwares. Thank you very much. The next video we're going to go beyond the 3 layer. We're going to go to 4 layers. Okay. See you next time. Bye.